Port Angeles and get Mr. Lee. I got to remember what I have to do here. I have to push that button right there. Okay, Lee, go ahead.
All right, okay. There, I got my timer going. This is Lee. Oh my gosh, the streaming is running now. Streaming looks good. Anyway, M7KC Lee in Port Angeles. And good evening, James. Thanks for doing the net. And I've been visiting with Ron here for a few minutes before the net, finding out about what's coming down on Monday for him and all that. We've had rain. We had just about 2/10 of an inch today, and it's not very cold, you know. And it's just a little bit of rain we had the last week and a half or 2 weeks. We never had a whole lot, but we've got, 0.15 and then 0.2 and stuff like that. But it's been a day-long drizzle when we get it. And so basically what it's doing is it's really making a difference in the yard. Our yard is actually starting to get some green in it again, so it's amazing that stuff was willing to come back as fast as it has. I mean, it's not really green, but it's definitely got the hit of green, you know, and boy, it was really, really brown. You know, almost friable. You could go out and kind of, it's so dry you can almost break it with your fingers. And of course, I like to keep it really short when it's like that because of the fire hazard and all that. So, well, I don't have anything else to add. I've had, for just a week and a day now, I've had a chest cold, and it's been really, really miserable. But yesterday morning and this morning, I was able to start getting rid of that phlegm. It's not bronchitis this time. I'm so happy about that. It did not. It's behind my sternum. You know, it's down in my chest, but it never got down into the bronchial tubes in my lungs. So it's just a summer cold, but it's miserable. I haven't felt very good, but tonight doing much better. So I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think it's an 11 or 12 day event, so I'm getting down, I think, to the end now. That's about it from here, I think. And I've got only 2 seconds left. M7KC to MPA. Back to you, James.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Just a comment, the video, the streaming, once it's turned on here, is really doing well tonight. Your signal coming in from Ron's transmitted signal is on the streaming is a solid 5. My loop back on 1.2, clearly we are getting into some weather off the top of the mountain, because I'd say it's 4, and there's coming and going interference on it. Anyway, yeah, the rain. Boy, I'm loving this summer. It rains enough just to keep me from having to water, and then it gives us some nice weather to do stuff in, and then it does it again. We're halfway through the summer, and I haven't even pulled the hose out to do any serious watering. So I'm really enjoying this weather. I wouldn't mind if every summer was like this. So anyway, let's see. What else? Oh, glad to hear that your chest cold's clearing up. Those can be pretty miserable. Wow, it looks like what Ron's going to be doing here. I'm very closely tuned to that. I see myself having to do that same thing at some point in the future. But don't know when or where or how. My medical insurance apparently isn't very good, and so far I can't get a doctor even to agree to a consult. So I guess that's what makes life interesting in this day and age. How are we all going to get Band-Aids and iodine here for the next, for me, 30 years? Don't know. Anyhow, I thought I would toss this up. And it looks like more moisture is coming in off the coast. This is a picture of the radar, courtesy your federal government, from I think they call it Langley, the Langley site, which is, I think, north of Astoria, more the Hoquiam area. And it looks like quite a bit of moisture coming in. But this is always of interest to me, as you know, but it's the same weather, but from a different perspective. And there, even though looks like it's raining out my window right now, I don't really see it. Maybe there's a little tiny spot below the A in Seattle. That must be what Ron and I are seeing right now. Don't know. Anyway, let me go back. Let me pause for a moment. And let me ask, does anyone else like to join our next Western Washington Amateur Television Society? So far we've got KD7QKU and N7KC. I am Whiskey Uniform 7 November. Do we have anyone else who'd like to join the net, or perhaps just to say hello in and out? Okay, I have 3 audio channels here that are all slightly delayed to each other. I didn't hear anything on any of them. So let's go back to the top of the list, to Ron, KD7QKU. Take it away, Ron.
Okay, W7N and the small group, KD7QKU. Well, I was trying to think of what else I've been doing. Sunday afternoon, or someday, I don't know, one of the days, someday before that, our friends up in Magnolia called and asked us if we wanted to come up Sunday afternoon and go up to the Ballard Seafood Festival. So we did. We went up to their house. They didn't want us to come real early because they thought we'd have, dinner up there. So I think we got to their house 3:30, 4 o'clock, visited for a while, drove up there. And he drove, and I wondered where he was going to park. Well, he parked in the Ballard Hospital parking lot. And that was really a smooth move because there was quite a few spaces in there. And as it turned out, it didn't cost us anything. And then it was just about a 2-block walk, up to the Market Street and then turn left, and you were right there. They had all these food vending trucks in the street that closed off Market Street, and then it went down to Leary Way, I think, and they had closed off part of Leary Way, and they had stages set up and music and food trucks down there. And then farther up Market Street towards the other end, towards what would it be? I think 25th or 24th. They had vendors in there with their little shelters up and all their beautiful stuff they have for sale. So we walked around and looked at that. The lines, there were lots of lines at the food trucks. The place was just packed. We figured Sunday evening, probably most of the people went there on Saturday. We figured Sunday evening it kind of winds down and it wouldn't have as many people that came in, that could hardly get through the crowd. So we ended up having the salmon dinner that the Ballard Chamber of Commerce or somebody there in Ballard put on. So we had that. It wasn't anything special, but it was, good quality food. So we were happy. I would have, I guess, preferred to have something out of the food truck. I guess I never have eaten out of a food truck, really. And they probably had some really good ones there. There was a lot of food trucks. I think all the food trucks in Seattle must have been there. But big crowds, really big crowds. We wandered over towards the music, and the music, unfortunately, wasn't to our liking. It was, kind of hard rock, I would say, and really loud. And then we wandered over to this other place, and it was just as bad. There was a couple of people playing instruments there, and it was a little bit more subdued, but the guy just screamed. I don't know. He would just sing. The song might have been okay, but, he just...
How about now? Testing 1, 2, 3. I'll be going. I had to do it a second time. It showed that it was transmitting and all that, but obviously not. Okay, Lee in 7KC in Port Angeles. Yeah, thanks, Ron. And James, I guess I do remember you mentioning that you had some kind of a forthcoming bone-on-bone issue or something like that you were going to have to address. I have a pad of paper and a pencil here, and I was going to jot something down, but I thought, well, it's so darn simple, I won't forget that. Right. So anyway, I can't remember. Oh, shucks, I hate it. So anyway, there you go. I just don't have much else, guys. I really don't. So, I know. Yeah, James. Is Langley the latest radar they put in on the coast? What's the guy, the big meteorologist there at UW, Cliff Mass, lobbied for years to get this big new radar system put in over on the northwest interior. And they have two over there now. And is Langley the latest one, or is there one north of Langley? Go ahead.
Well, the site, I believe, is labeled, if you go to radar.weather.gov, it's labeled Langley Hill. And I flew over it years ago, so I think it had to have been in place for at least 10 years. But I saw it. I saw where it was. And it's kind of up interior of the coast, interior away from Hoakley and that area. I am not aware of any other radar in the northwestern part of the state. The only two National Weather Service sites, at least, is that one, and then there's the one here in Puget Sound. Those are the only two I know of until you go out into the eastern part of the state. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's more recent than 10 years. I mean, I know it's been in 5 years because they put it in before we came over here, but I'm sure it wasn't 10. So, anyway, Cliff made the case for a long time that they were just having an awful time with the weather coming in on the west, from the west here and up the trade stuff because they just couldn't see it. And they needed a new weather radar over there, and by they got a lot of money together and put in this big, fancy new installation. And so forth. And it saved me, I can't remember the name of it. Might have been Langley. Perhaps it was. Anyway, okay, well that's it from here. My time was running out, so in 7KC, back to you, James.
Okay, well, maybe it has been less than 10 years, but the time really flies by. Maybe they were installing it about 10 years ago. With all the water here, I'd just like to say, we had a discussion of this, I think, in the last net. This is my weed control program, is to see if you can get them to smoke, because I've heard that smoking stunts your growth. And so I found this image on the internet. I think I'm going to Photoshop my call sign onto it and use it as my video ID. I think that's just a hilarious picture. But here is let's see, actually that's not. This right here is the site radar, and as you see, it's labeled National Weather Service Enhanced Radar Image Loop, Langley Hill, Washington, is what it's called. And I know they're undergoing some major upgrades to all of the weather radar throughout the country. Some of it, particularly the stuff that's installed up Tornado Alley, is actually getting pretty old. So it'll be interesting. As good as the old stuff is, I guess the new stuff is even better. So with the Doppler shift, they can see the wind coming and going quite literally. And so that's going to really be interesting to see all that. This is James, WW7N, Net Control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Let's pause for a moment and see if anyone else would like to check in and out and say hello. Okay, nothing hurt. Let's see. Another interesting project I've been doing recently is I have a large pine tree right off my back deck that had a bunch of dead limbs, and I was able to snap quite a few of them off, but now there's some that are higher, and as the tree gets higher and as my building house gets higher, it gets harder and harder to reach out. They're, of course, farther away. The tree grows down the hill, so trying to get those limbs from the ground would really be quite a project. So I was thinking of making a long, extended reach pole, probably with either an electric or air-powered saw on it. So if either of you have ideas on that, I'm all ears of how you cut dead limbs off a tree from way, way up there. If you have any ideas on that. The other useful function that tree might get put to is maybe an HF antenna support. So I don't know how much longer you guys want to keep it up. I really appreciate you coming and checking into the net tonight. I see it's 8:22, and I'll go as long as you guys want to go. So let's take it at the top of the list. Ross, take it away.
Okay, this is KD72KU again. Well, I haven't had any experience with those either gas or motorized little trimmers that are up on the end of a pole. So I don't know. I would think they would get heavy, kind of heavy, if you held them up there very long. So be careful with that. I can tell you a story about my son. He has a tractor, with a bucket on the front, and he was pruning some trees, and he was up in the... He rigged it somehow so he could pull the lever. Well, he was in the bucket so he could raise himself up and down. So he was about as high as it was going, and he had his chainsaw up there, and he cut this limb. And it just about knocked him out of the bucket. Yeah, and he wasn't living there at that time all by himself, so, if he'd have fell out, however far that would have been 10 or 15 feet, or 10 or 12 feet, or something, 8 or 10 feet. He could have hurt himself really bad. He could have laid there a long time before anyone would have found him. Anyway, he said it scared him really bad, so he decided that was just a good idea. Well, let's see. James, I guess you're not quite eligible for Medicare. So as soon as you get Medicare, then if you would get some supplemental insurance, it'd work out a lot better than probably what you're having right now. So in just a little while, I can maybe give you a recommendation after I go through this. The guy had another lady. I met another lady that's going to have the same surgery the same day and the same doctor. So I don't know how many more he's going to perform that day, but it sounds like he's pretty busy. And all the reviews on the internet that people had said they really liked him. He was good. So that's all I know. I was going to say something else. Should have written it down, I guess. So, we don't have to stay too long. Maybe we can go to 8:30. We haven't heard from Gary. We did have Jim with us last week. And Bob, my goodness, we haven't heard from Bob for a long time. So anyway, hopefully some of those guys will show up again. All right, let's go to N7KC.
Okay, let's see if I got it. Yeah, I do. Okay, N7KC, Lee up in Port Angeles. And my mug is on the stream right now. It's astonishing, actually, the video that Ron sent from his place up to that repeater. I mean, my image is being scan converted off of a computer screen into an NTSC signal and then sent up to the top of the mountain there for rebroadcast and to get on the stream, and it's just flat out amazing. Wow. Anyway, James, I did a little, since I've got YouTube up here in the streaming, I just opened a tab and take a look at Northwest weather radars, and yeah, Portland's got one and Langley Hill, so I guess now when I think back on it, I believe Cliff Mass's argument was that they didn't have any weather radar on the west side of the Olympics north of Portland. So that's why Langley was put in, so it could fill in that big, huge gap that they had, because the CPAC one wouldn't go over the Olympics, and Portland was too far south to give them any coverage up there. They didn't get the returns they needed. So that was the reason for Langley going in. It was an expensive installation, but I think everybody's been just super happy about having it in there. It's made things a lot better here. So, but I don't have anything else, and so as far as I'm concerned, you can shut her down. I'll just say 7-3 right now, and I'm feeling much better. I really am, you know. And maybe by tomorrow or the next day I'll be rid of this darn stuff. The middle of summer, Paula didn't get it, so far at least. She hasn't shown any signs. So I hope she doesn't. Anyway, with that, 7-3 guys. And Jim, fax you comes to you. N7KC, Liam, Port Angeles. Video courtesy of Ron, KD7QKU, and my audio courtesy of Echolink.
Okay, Ron. Well, up there in Port Angeles, thank you very much for checking in tonight. And yeah, I think that was the reasoning for that site location was the Olympic Mountains blocked everything out towards the northwest, and then yeah, it was too far south to get anything else. You know, I also think I recall attending some weather lecture where they were saying if they had more sensors out in the Pacific, they could do a better job of doing, you know, their simulations with their supercomputers, because there just wasn't enough sensors out there. I think there's one buoy out there somewhere out in the middle of the Pacific off the coast. Huge, big thing changed way down there, and it must be really changed well because it never gets away. But that's the only sensor they have out there, so the radar really has helped with weather predictions. And Ron, I am on the edge of my seat to see how things go for you. I don't know how I'm going to administratively make it happen, but I think it's probably going to happen here. I don't know if I can last until I qualify. I think it's age 65 is when Medicare kicks in. And gosh, that seems like a long ways away, but I don't know. The last decade went by so fast. So anyway, let me pause for a minute here and see if anybody else would like to say hello, check in with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Network. If you'd like to come and say hello to us, we're on 147.080. Go ahead and say hello now.
7 Hotel Yankee Bubble.
Gary, good to hear from you. Let me turn my transmitter off. Okay, you've got video here, Gary. K7HYB, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just in and out, Jim. I'm deep in some stuff in my shop here, and I simply haven't had time to get on the air. I don't even have my gear turned on. But I thought I'd jump in and let you know I was here and listening, and say hi to everybody on the next. So, WCU7N, K7HYB.
Well, Gary, thank you very much for checking in and saying hello, and if you're busy, that's probably a good thing. Well, this is James, WU7N, Whiskey Uniform 7 November. Ron, would you like to say 73 there and take it away?
Okay, well, I guess that's about all over here from my place. So, I guess 73 is everybody. Have a good evening, a good weekend, and I don't know if I'll be on the air next Wednesday or not. I guess it depends how I feel and if I can drag myself in here. But from all I've heard, I should be able to, you know, have full weight bearing and be up with the walker. So, actually, I can probably get in here. I might have to have Joanne plug one thing in. It's kind of hard to reach, so... But other than that, there's a possibility I could be here. And then I think, we might have one of our other friends back here. So maybe our group will get a little bit larger. I almost feel like I should give Bob Selling a call, K9DQ, because we haven't heard from him for so long. Sure hope nothing has happened to him. All right. Well, good night, everybody. 73 KD7QK will be clear.
Okay, well, you know, I think you being you, I would expect you to probably be doing maybe 20-second, 50-yard dashes the day of. That's kind of my expectation for you. Anyway, this is the WU7N Whiskey Uniform 7 November for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Does anybody have anything at all for the net tonight before we close it down a little bit early? Please come now. Okay, no stations heard. My name is James with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. I'd just like to say thank you very much for the owners and operators of the 147.080 repeater for letting us use it for our audio channel tonight. Also, all the other amateur radio operators out there that give us a free and clear channel for 1 hour on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific Time and Saturday evening 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Anyone is welcome to join us, whether you have a video stream or not. And if you'd like to see what the rest of us are looking at, you can always go to your favorite search engine, type in Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and from there find our site, click on streaming. And actually the streaming tonight is incredibly responsive, less than probably 3 seconds delay at the worst tonight, really doing well. So, my name is James, WU7S. Let me say the best to all, 73, and good night.
N7KC disconnected.
Audio test, WU7S.
WU7N disconnected.